In this video, we are going to cover two very important widgets in Flutter framework, namely ListView widget and the second one is ListTile widget. You might have seen in many of the mobile apps where you are basically having list of emails, or maybe when you open up text messages in the mobile phones, you might have seen the text messages where you have some kind of title and some small description, not the complete description, but maybe with the three dots at the end and with an icon on the left, and you can click here or on the top of the that particular item to read more. So that's basically covered with the help of list view widget and list tile widget. Along with the list view and list tile, we are going to cover three more concepts as part of this video. The first one is called SnackBar, which is basically, you might have seen sometimes when you add or delete an email or so on, you might get a kind of a message that appears at the bottom, like for example, message deleted, message updated, or whatever action you want to do when you do some action here. And that's called SnackBar, and that SnackBar can be displayed with the help of ScaffoldMessenger, because this is ScaffoldMessenger is responsible for showing the SnackBar. Another scenario of where you might have seen mobile app being you are viewing a mobile app but not properly being seen. Maybe there is a camera on the top where it is hiding some portion of the app view or something like that. In order to ensure that the location of the app is going to be fitting within the app's resolution, phone resolution interface, we use the concept of SafeArea. So this video, because it is so important, the list view and the list tile, we will be basically looking in this particular video on how to view a static list content. In other words, we already have some predefined data that we just want to list here. In the other two videos, we will be also looking at how to view or how to create a list view with the help of external files such as an XML or a JSON file, JavaScript object notation file. The other one more video we will be looking at, in another video we will be looking at how to have this list view with the help of external sources through the APIs, for example list of countries or weather forecast that we might access through the APIs. Now without wasting our time, let's start building this app. So first I'm going to open up the Visual Studio Code. So here is an Visual Studio Code. I'm going to create view, command palette, Flutter new project, application, and it's going to ask where would you like to save this project. I'm happy with the C apps and demo location. I'm going to create in this one, and I'm going to basically say, okay, call it as a list view project. So let's click on list Flutter application list view. I'm going to hit enter. Now this is going to set up the Flutter application for us with some default code. So it's loading. There you go. So that's the default code that has been that came with the Flutter application. What we're going to do is we're going to Control Alt and delete, and I'm going to paste the standard code that we have discussed in one of our previous video, which is one of the best practices according to the object oriented programming standards. So basically it has pretty much basic code, which is importing the package, running the main, and we are using the fat arrow. It's a shortcut instead of using the flower bracket, open close flower bracket, because we have only one line. And then we defined a class with the name of my app. That's basically what we are going to run, and inside that one we have a constructor, and we are going to build the actual widget. So basically we have called the app title, we can call it as, for example, list view app, my list view app, and home is basically pretty much null, it's empty. So let's just, without doing anything, we can simply save this one, and we are going to set up at the bottom right. You see here there's a no device, so I'm going to basically select Edge. You're welcome to select Chrome or emulator or any other output device. I'm going to select Edge, and then I'm going to run. I want to show you something else as well. Normally you can click here and then run without debugging, but you can also click here. You see here, run debug profile. You can also click here, run. So it will do pretty much the same thing. And there is another way of running the project as well, which I will show you how to run through the terminal. next time when we try to do maybe in this project, if not in another project. So let's try to see now. It is launching the Microsoft Edge. I'm going to minimize this and I'm going to put it here on my left just to see what how it looks like side by side. So that's basically launching. I'm going to minimize this screen. So that's pretty much the code we have for basically it's an empty app. We have nothing here, and now there you go, it has done the launching. So I'm going to put this on the right side. So all it has got is basically, hey look, there's a title, and in the home where we are supposed to display the content, we are just saying null. So as you can see here that there's just a title and null. So you should see your the app being loaded, and that title, my ListView app, you see here in the tab, my ListView app. That's basically what the title we gave for this app. Okay, now that we got the first things, which is basically creating a default this one. So let's try to create maybe a home page, a separate home page. So I'm going to create home underscore page dart file. So whatever logic we will be writing there, that we will reference here in the home. Okay, so basically I'm going to hit enter. Now we got a home page, an empty home page. Here I'm going to again write some standard code that we have covered in one of our videos. So this is basically the standard code that you should be writing for any kind of page. In this case, we have given the name as home page. It could be setting page, it could be about us page, it could be contact us page. So whatever name you give, please make sure that the same name is followed. And you might have, you might also see that basically here we have imported the package, we created the class, and then we created the constructor, and then we are overriding and saying that we want to create a state of the private class. Now why it is private? Because there is an underscore. Now why we need to write this kind of code? This is just a standard, and it is part of encapsulation, which is one of the 4 pillars of object oriented programming. And in the private class, we have basically built the widget, which is basically saying just display me a text home page 123. So you can basically say save it, and once you save this one, now if I go back to the main page, which we will be making a call to the home page. So in the main page, so in the home, we will make a call to the home page. Now you notice that whenever I'm writing, it should show me the intelligence. Let's have a look. So there you go, home page. If you click here, as soon as you click, you will see that in the import, it will automatically put the link. So if I click here, you see there import, basically that's the file. Basically because Flutter doesn't know that this home page class exists where in the files. So Flutter needs to know that this particular home page logic is written in this particular file name home underscore page dot. That's why you need to specify here. The way you do that to specify a particular page in main, for example, right click, you can copy relative path, and in the main you can just write import, for example import, and then you can specify that location, and I think that should be package. Yeah, that's right, package Flutter, and Flutter underscore application. That's the name of the project that we have given here, and then backslash whatever is the name of the file that you have given. Okay, so because since we have already got that one, so I'm going to basically ignore that. Now if I hit save, basically what it is saying is I want to run the app, and the app class, my app class, it makes a call saying go and build this widget. But in this widget, again it is going to make a call to the home page, and inside the home page again it is going to make a call to the private home page state which we have created. And in the home page create, here it's saying go ahead and go and build the widget. So basically we have got only one line of output, which is text. Let's just save it. And if you save this one right now, and also please make sure you need to save the main as well. You see, if you see that circle, it means that this page is not saved, because we added home page but we did not save it. So you need to save both the files. So if I save it, now let us see what will happen. You will see the text, which is basically this text, home page 123, there you go, in the child, and this is in the center. Okay, render center. Now And this is basically the basic piece of code that we have got now. But what we want to get is we want to display a list view with a list tile of items. So everything, that code we are going to write here. So I'm going to basically delete this piece of code here, and we need to return from here. We are going to make changes. So first thing what we need to do is, if you remember, the first thing we are going to do is we are going to use the scaffold widget. Scaffold widget is one of the fundamental widget for building structure, and you need to put a semicolon. So that's the first thing we do, and we are going to give a nice bar which is going to be displayed on the top. So you can call it as app bar. Okay, app bar, and you can give it a nice title. So say for example text. In the title we are going to display text. Say for example say emails or messages, maybe messages, or maybe even announcements. It's totally up to you. Let's see, like phone messages. So I'm going to hit save, and you will see that there is a bar on the top that should be displayed. There you go, messages. Okay, now once you have that one, let's try to now work with the body. In the body, what we are going to do is, as I mentioned, we are going to basically have, just let's for example, just let's try to create a simple list tile. We can't create a list tile because it will throw error. It needs a wrapper. So let's create a list view. Actually, let's create a list view, and inside the list view we are going to create, because list view is basically, as I mentioned before, in the list view we are basically displaying list of tiles. In the list of tiles, so list of tile is a single item. Tile 1, tile 2, tile 3, tile 4, and so on. Okay, so that's basically what we are trying to achieve. So basically that's called in the list view, we need multiple children, because it might be one tile or it could be multiple tiles. So what we are going to do is children in the arrow. Now we can create a simple list tile here. So list tile. Now inside the list tile, what we are going to do is, just for the sake of first let's try it with this one. We will go with the title. Okay, the title I want to display as a text. Say for example say hi Sarah, this is your reminder on electricity bills of something 123 some amount. Please ensure to pay before, say for example, before say 1st of or maybe 10th of July 2025, something like that. Okay, sorry, this is a text. Again, I'm sorry, that's a title. Title should not be so long. It's actually called we should be writing this under subtitle. Okay, we will make it as, instead of title, we will make it as subtitle. Okay, the title should be very short, which is the, like, let me go with this one, title. Okay, title, for example, text, say for example one of the origin energy, for example. Okay, so origin electricity or energy, basically, or origin energy, that's the title, and that's the subtitle. Let's just try to save this one and see what will happen. There you go. So basically we got a nice a tile with origin energy as the title, and the text as subtitle as hi Sarah, so and so, so and so. Okay, if the text exceeds, then we need to ensure that the text doesn't exceed. And also the text, for example, if I just continue with this one, if I basically go ahead, if I expand, like, I'm going to write something very long, for example, like, you can email us if you have any difficulty in paying your bills, so that we can arrange monthly payment plan, for example. Like, I got a very long message here. Okay, so if I have a long message, now just observe what will happen. So if I'm going to put this one, you see here, it's going to in the 3 lines, and that's not how you would see it normally. You would see that the message is maximum of 2 lines, and then you will see that dot dot dot. That's basically what we call its ellipses. Okay, let's try to do that. So basically we can specify here. So we got a title, we got a subtitle, which is this subtitle here, enter. Now we're going to write one more, maximum lines. Okay, max lines. I think it's max lines. Sorry, maximum line should be inside subtitle if I'm not mistaken. So if I'm going here, there you go, that enter, I think it is inside the subtitle after the this one, comma, enter. So I think it should be here, max, there you go, max lines is, say for example, 2 lines. And if overflow happens, then we will say that, please, if the text overflow happens, just display ellipses, ellipses. Okay, I'm going to remove that one, and I'm going to put, so basically here, this is basically what we got in the subtitle. Okay, in the subtitle we are saying that we want to display text, a long text, and that's the text we have, comma, and then within that text we are saying maximum lines we want to display is 2, and if the overflow happens, then just display with the ellipses. Now if I save this piece of code here, just save it, now you see what will happen. So now you should see only 2 lines, there you go, and then ellipses, that's at 3 dots. So that now we also want to do what we want to do is, when we click on this this message, and then instead of going to another page or something, we'll try to display a kind of a pop-up at the bottom. Okay, so the way you handle that one is, now we got a list tile is a title, we got a subtitle, and then we can also have we can also, by the way, we can display an icon at the front, an icon at the end. So the way you do that is basically in the list tile, under list tile, you can basically have like a leading, you can write anywhere, I'm just writing it on the top because it will come on the left here. Leading, I want to display icon, which is basically icons dot. Now there are a number of icons that are available, and I highly recommend you to visit this website here. You see here, Google font icons. So Google, you just search online Google font icons, that's the fonts.google.com/icons. say for example, in this particular case, because this is about electricity, let's see, electricity, I'm not sure if I have any, or it's a bill actually, electricity bill. So this is about payments. So in the payments, electricity bills, maybe no, invoice, maybe invoice, there you go, we got receipt, maybe we can display this icon, for example, receipt icon. When you click here, and then you see on the bottom right, icon name, that's a receipt, that's the same name like pretty much, but please come here and check the name at the bottom, icon name, copy code. Now go back to our code here. So icons dot, so that's the name we want to give, receipt. Okay, so if I just save it, that's a leading, which means it should come at the front. Now you will see that there's a beautiful icon on the left at the beginning, there you go, that's the icon. And you might also see that, if the users can click and go forward maybe to the next page or something, then we need to show one more icon, which is called trailing. Okay, so basically we got an icon, which is this icon, and then there is a title, origin energy, that's the title, and we got the subtitle, that's the subtitle, and then we can also write here trailing. We will display one more icon, like an arrow icon. So icons dot arrow underscore forward underscore, say iOS is fine. Okay, fine. So that's basically the icon that we want to display, close bracket and comma. Now if I just save it, now see what will happen, there you go, it looks much similar to the ones that we have been used to when we are viewing messages or emails and those kind of things. So that's basically how you do it, but that's not the case now. Now if you just see here, what we want to do is, when the user clicks do something, so the way you do that is, there are a number of ways to do that. So again, everything should be written within this list tile. See, this is the most important thing, within the list tile it should be written. So what we can do is, there is a action, we want to do action, so it's called on. You see here we have few options here, on focus, on long press, on tap, and so on. We'll go for on tap, which means just like the user is clicking. What do you want to do? So open close bracket and open close flower bracket. When the user is clicking on tap, we want to do something, and what we want to do is, just to show you, I mean there are a number of ways to do it, but I just wanted to show you first how to as a developer, how can you track if the user has clicked or not. You can simply write, for example, text. This is not the best practices, but I'm just showing you here. Say for example, what is the message? Origin energy, origin icon, or tile clicked, for example. Okay, so I just go and save it. Now just notice what will happen. Okay, now you see that there is, when I do the mouse over, so there is like the kind of a color is happening. Now you also notice in the, I want to open this one here, and in the output you will also notice that when I click here, sorry, I think it's in the debug console. In the debug console, if I'm not mistaken, when I click here, it should write me the text. It should be in the output, or it's over here, because we said that we want to write the text. So click on it, and there's no problem. I think it should have shown the text. Normally it should have done it. It should have done it when we clicked on it. Anyway, let's do one thing. Instead of text, now let's try to work on this part, which is basically the snack bar. Like when the user clicks here, we will display this kind of message for maybe 1 or 2 seconds. Okay, so the way you do that is basically we will use the scaffold messenger, as we said before. So when the user clicks on tap, what do we want to do? We want to use the scaffold messenger to display a snack bar. So scaffold, SCAFFOLD messenger, scaffold messenger dot off context again is a reference point, dot show snack bar. So that's basically what we want to do, and put the this one. Now inside the scaffold messenger, we are going to create the snack bar. So constant snack bar, because we are not changing any code here in the at runtime. That's why it's a constant. So in the snack bar, there are few features. If you want to know what are the features, you can just mouse over it and you can see what is required. Required is a widget, and you can see everything, like basically what are the things which are required and what is optional and so on. So let's try to create here 2 things. One is the content. So what we want to display is, we want to display a text widget, because everything is widget in Flutter. So we can here just, you can say that say for example, you clicked origin energy message, for example. Okay, something like that. And we can also specify how long this message should pop up and then disappear. That we can do that in the form of duration, and we need to specify in seconds. So we can specify in seconds. I mean, it's up to you if you want to specify in different format. So basically in seconds. Say for example, you just want to display for 1 second. Okay, so I'm going to basically again hide this one. So I'm going to right click and format code, so it looks better. So this is basically pretty much, you see here, this is written by Flutter, that ListView is a hint that this particular piece of code is everything when it comes to the one in the list view. And inside the list view we have many children, and inside the children this is the list tile. That's basically what we have played. This is the list tile. This is just one list tile. Let me just save it. And see what will happen. Now what will happen is, if I just click here, observe what will happen at the bottom. So when I click here, there you go, you clicked origin energy message. For a second it will go, say origin energy second. Now if what I'm going to do is, I'm going to increase this to say 2 seconds, because it is disappearing pretty quickly. So now if I'm basically going to click, it will stay for 2 seconds and then disappear. So origin energy, there you go, 2 seconds and then it will disappear. There you go, again click, 2 seconds, it will stay and then disappear. So this is basically how you display a list view. Now this is just as I mentioned to you, inside the list view we got only we got list tiles. So this is one list tile, this is one list tile. Now if I just copy this one, if I just copy this and if I just paste it, like for example again one more, I'm just going to right click and format, maybe save as format document. So I copy pasted 4 times, so that this is origin energy. Maybe this is say for example weather forecast, weather alert. So maybe you can change the icon for the weather. So for example here you can say that warning or I don't know if there is a weather icon. No, there is no icon there. Or maybe climate. No, I need to go back to the website where we have the option to select select the icons. So basically here we can say weather. Maybe there you go. Maybe this icon, I can use this icon. So that is air. Okay, air. Okay, so I'm going to change that icon here to dot air. Sorry, dot air. So that's the icon, and the same thing you can pretty much do the same. I think I forgot the close bracket. There you go. And the same thing, you can go ahead and you can change the content. You can basically do everything. Once you save it, now you will see that all those messages there. You can click anywhere you want and you can display its customized message. Basically, this is weather alert, and maybe like, here is like, for example, announcement, and this one is maybe, say for example, sales. So you can get different types of messages in either in emails or in text messages and so on. And when you click on particular tile, then you get a message at the bottom. This is how we can display, and this is the overall demo of how to create a static view, because we have written everything by ourselves. The data is static. In the coming two videos, we will be looking at how to display the data using external file and also using an API. I hope this video is useful. Thank you.